All right, this one's for Cancer, dear Cancer. Cancer, this is for you, okay? This is our little mini reading sequence playlist that we're doing for the full moon Sunday. I think it's Sunday, March 12th, yeah. And I decided to do these because it's like a ceremony for the end of the eclipse season. This isn't an eclipse, but it's the end of it. It's all over for all that big Pisces stuff for the last couple of years. All that big Pisces Virgo energy. So, um, Cancer, just so that you know, in my observation from where I'm sitting, you guys have been really taking a pounding, okay? And it's nobody's fault. It's just that, you know, when you look at the stars and the planets and everything, I'm not a professional, but I do a lot of the astrology stuff just to sort of like a spiritual GPS in my own life, just to make sure I can keep going and getting through the next day or two, okay? And Cancer, um, you've been part of this like Capricorn phenomenon for quite a while because it's the Pluto in Capricorn energy has been opposing you in the area of relationship. So you might have been undergoing some really profoundly challenging issues in relationships for the last few years, you know, 6 or 7 years, and there's probably 4 or 5 more years to go. So it's been pretty tough on you, Cancer, and there's more to come. And you can deal with it because you're dealing with it, and you wouldn't be watching this unless you have already figured out that you can deal with it. You might just need a little bit of help. So that's why you come to the videos. But just recently, especially last night, we had an exceptionally strong grand square, grand cross, or whatever you want to call it, with Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, and Aries, all squaring and opposing. So it was really, really tough energy. I don't know how everybody else handled it, but I was absolutely wigging out. And the only reason I got through it is because I did a 3-hour live session, okay? And that helped me to avoid worrying about my own business, minding my own business stuff, because it was so much fun to help sort out other people and their issues. We had a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for being at the show, by the way. So, dear Cancer, I already pre-shuffled, but I'm trying to go up to the very last second and get these ready for you. Here we go. It's just a mini reading, okay? Shuffle, cut, 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 cut. And here's your situation. Here's the challenge. Here's a way to handle it, hopefully. And here's the general weather. The general weather is moving on. Things are changing. Things are shifting. You've made a conscious, deliberate decision to gently and gracefully remove yourself from aspects of life that are really just no longer working for you. It's no longer happening. And you've figured it out. In the logical mind, it's nothing. We're not talking about emotional trauma here. We're just talking about, you know what? It's time to move on. Next step. What's the next chapter, folks? What's the next chapter in my epic journey as a Cancer? So that's okay. What's the situation then with that weather? Happy, happy, happy. Maybe you're happy that you've just gone through this really turbulent, massive, like convulsive energy that's happening with this huge square, this huge grand square. Maybe you're just simply happy that you've got what you've got, and maybe you got so rattled, so shaken up, and you got through it all where you had this sort of pivotal awakening, like a sort of an awakening where you realized, I'm really pretty lucky. I've got a lot. I have a lot. And most of the happiness that I have in my life comes from within. And I'm very happy to share that with others. And others are very happy to share theirs with me. This is the happy home. This is the happy family. Now, in the situation position, this might be what you want because you don't have that. Okay? I don't want to pop any bubbles. I just feel obliged to give the different perspectives as they come to me. Okay? I don't want to get burdened down here, but if this is what you want, if this is the situation that you desire, then simply by having the realization and the visualization of this is a very big step towards being this and having this, okay? You might want to get married and have a home and a family and kids. You might be married and have a home, a family, and kids. Maybe things aren't so great and you want them to be that great. Maybe things are this great and you're extremely grateful for being that great. Okay, so what's the challenge here? Okay, this is getting really weird. Not only with the live shows, but some of the readings before that, earlier in the month, and even with this little tiny playlist for the full moon. I think this is the third or maybe the fourth time this card has shown up. It's unrelenting. Okay, so I'm going back to this for a moment, Cancer. I'm just sensing that if everything isn't quite as happy as you want it to be in the home and the family and your world, and this is what you actually want, it might be that the challenge here might be facing the truth of what is not working. Okay? What's not right? What is untrue in your life? Okay? See the swords in here? These are the thoughts, your inner, your mental beliefs, your perceptions about how reality is. And if this is the weather that's taking you through life right now, if it's the backdrop of your life and it's taking you to new places and you've made the decision to go there, you've gone along with the weather, that's great. But the challenge is facing the truth. It might be that the truth hurts. It might be that there's an awful lot of stuff going on in your life in many different aspects, many different departments, where the truth is, it isn't all this. It isn't as happy as it could be. There's room for improvement, and it could be that you now have the opportunity for a major upgrade, like a major attitude adjustment, where the best thing to do, even though it's the biggest challenge, is to face the truth of what's actually screwed up in your life. What is really wrong, especially as it is exposed through your feeling body, because you're a very sensitive feeling person, Cancer, but it has to come into full consciousness, into your waking mind, not just gut feelings or emotions or sensations, but raw, hard facts, factual truth, the actual facts of life. What is the actual physical, like, no, not physical, like the mental awareness of your perceptions of what is actually going on in my life that I don't want to see or acknowledge, okay? So that's the challenge. But because this is a sacred card of opportunity, you are being offered this challenge in order to face the challenge, okay? You just probably don't want the challenge. So how are you going to deal with that challenge? Oh, Cancer. Cancer. It might just be as simple as accepting that things maybe not be as great as they could be. You're not as happy as you want to be. You'd love to be like this. You love being like this. You already know what it's like, but it might be lacking at the moment because you've been under so much pressure. So much pressure, Cancer. And there might have been enough pain and suffering and losses where you're hurting really badly. okay? And a lot of the hurt might be from the awakenings in the truth that is being exposed in your life that may have been hidden or just ignored. And as the truth is exposed, sometimes it can be very painful, shockingly painful, even though you might have been aware of it and it might have been lingering there for a long time. When it becomes crystallized into full awareness, then can be quite faint. It can be quite painful. So in this position, what this card is telling me to tell you is to understand and accept that pain and suffering is a part of life, and it's part of the journey of moving on, okay? In order to move past this, the thing is to go through it. It's almost like the pathway to deal with the suffering is to go through the suffering. In other words, if you feel like you want to cry, allow yourself to cry, okay? If you're holding back tears of pain and suffering for obvious reasons, the suggestion to move forward is to allow the pain and suffering to come to the surface. Whatever is hurting you, whatever hurts, whatever damage has been done to you, whatever betrayals, treacheries, losses, failures, heartbreak has happened to you, dear Cancer, dear sensitive, loving Cancer, is to acknowledge it, accept it, and let the current, the emotional currents that go with it, allow them to surface and move through you. It's a very healing process. Literally, crying is one of the most powerful healing uh, experiences you can have. You don't want to overdo it, obviously, but if you need to just go off and have a good cry somewhere, I don't care if you're a guy, I don't care if you're super macho and successful or whatever it is you do. If there's something deep inside you which is really painful and you're hiding it and you're trying to avoid it and you're being challenged to face the truth, the way to deal with it is face the truth, move into it, look at it face on, no matter how much it hurts. Because that's the most healing thing you can do to yourself and for others, the ones that you love and the ones that love you. Allow yourself to move through this, okay? I've said enough. I love you, dear, soft, gentle, loving Cancers. I'm sorry it's been so hard on you guys. You're going to be okay. You're moving through it. Take care.